Now, does that mean that the back to work legislation that might be introduced next week could change that? And so that there could be bigger fines, more power to target individual members of the union, the teachers themselves?
Yeah, and that's the element of uncertainty that we'll have until Monday afternoon is there certainly, there was the stuff we already have in the code. That's all very clear. We know what that can look like, and we could talk about that. But then the back to work legislation could introduce either increased penalties or additional penalties to what we already find in the code. We've seen that in other jurisdictions when they've implemented back to work legislation. They often will put in stiffer penalties for that specific dispute than what their code indicates.
Well, let's talk about what back to work legislation actually means. Could you explain that, please?
Well, essentially, I like to call it's the government's get out of jail free card. It's a way that rather than actually resolve the issues of the conflict, you could just bring an end to the strike. And so it is simple as you introduce a piece of legislation that declares the strike illegal, and usually forces it then into binding arbitration. Although sometimes they will actually sort of actually legislate the provisions of the contract in the legislature. So that's also a possibility.